Hey yo guys, what's up and welcome back to Two Toe Tags and Metal Reviews, and today we're getting our first impressions of the newest album from Orbit Culture titled Nija. Alright guys, Orbit Culture is a band that we've covered on this channel a few times, reaction videos for a few songs. They'll leave some off this album.
Yep, for sure.
But other than that, we're pretty unfamiliar with this band. Now, I did go out and check out their latest album. They released an EP before, and then before that, they had a full album in 2016 called Raisin, I think. It's pronounced Raisin or Raisin. I also might have butchered Nija at the beginning. I don't know if it's Nija, Nija, Naya. Sometimes the J is pronounced as a Y. Don't know, whatever. Pretty good band. A lot of hype around this band. A lot of people requesting this. A lot of people requesting the videos. Don't hate me for this. I think this band is a little bit on the average side. They remind me of a lot of other bands. Trivium comes to mind. Amon Amarth comes to mind. I don't feel like these guys live up to the standard of either of those bands, but they do have their own style. They do have a good sound. I'm not trying to knock it. It's just, I don't get the hype really. But I am hoping that I love this album because it's been requested a lot for us to review, and I want to trust you guys in your opinions. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Yeah. I'm hoping I like it.
From what I heard, I kind of like the only two songs I really kind of remember that we did react to were The Shadowing and Open Eye, and I liked both of those. So, you know, that already kind of put it on one standard, but the fact that we've gotten so many requests for this album puts my expectations way up there. I'm expecting this to blow my mind, guys, because clearly it blew all your minds, right?
Yeah, and this is a bar that you guys set, so it's got to live up to a standard now, unfortunately. But anyways, we're gonna go listen to it for the very first time in its entirety, and we'll be back in just a second to give you guys our first impressions. I'm so fucking disappointed in you guys. Psych! No, this album was sick. Just kidding. Okay, no, honestly, this album was dope. We just listened to it. I don't even know where to start. You know what? I'm gonna start with the pronunciation of Nija. He pronounces it in the second song, the North Star of Nija. So, just to correct myself from the beginning of the video, that's how it's pronounced. Where to go from here? Wow.
I mean, you know, if you're mentioning that song, let's start with that song.
Let's start with that song.
Was my highest rated song.
Same.
That song is insane.
Dude.
It was the first song where I really wrote, wow, these vocals are amazing. And you know what? It's such a wide variety of sounds. You have this really deep growl, which to me sounds a bit like Phil Bozeman. That is a compliment more than anything. I like Phil Bozeman's growls.
Definitely got vibes of that too.
I like these growls too. He's got these cleans, which some of it you were saying sounded a little bit like Matt Heafy.
Definitely Matt Heafy. Definitely
I
James
can hear
Hetfield.
that. And also James Hetfield as well. Yeah. But it's not like it's one clean vocal. Like you hear it in whatever, North Star of Nija, but if you hear it in Open Eye, it sounds a lot more like James Hetfield. Like there's a lot more to it than just the one clean sound, and that's really, really cool.
Yes, vocal diversity is definitely impressive.
Now, this song kind of starts a trend among this album where, you know, you got a really cool song going on, and then the bridge happens, and then it goes all out craziness. And that happens on a bunch of the songs in this album, I noticed. You got the song, and then once you get to the bridge, they just go fucking nuts. And on this song, the double kick is so nice. This drummer has such amazing foot control.
Yeah.
He can do, you know, very nice motifs with his feet. The just straightforward double kick doing really quick stuff is just so controlled. Like, it's such a great performance on the feet.
Yeah, have you ever like played with your bathroom sink and you just like turn the faucet on full blast and then turn it off again and then full blast and turn it off? That's what this guy's feet are doing.
Yeah.
Like that's what it reminds me of. Like, it's insane the amount of control and finesse this guy has. I was impressed, and not just in that song, but throughout the entire album. He throws in a lot of really cool little diddles here and there, and it's just fucking really awesome.
Now, another thing about the singer, who not only sings but also does guitar, but also mixed this album, mastered this album, wrote all the lyrics, and produced the album. This guy did that much. One of the first notes I wrote, you know, during the first song at the front was that this is a really good mix, very deep. Yeah. You know, the toms are very thick sounding.
Very good mix. The album sounds really nice.
Something about that song, by the way, it doesn't wait for anything. It's like
which song? The first song?
The first song.
Oh yeah.
Just instant you press play.
Instant brutality.
There's a crazy drum fill and then it's in your face. Like, yeah. I was not ready for that.
Yeah. I was looking forward to, and this is probably my own fault because it was a little bit of a letdown, but I was looking forward to guitar solos on this album. There wasn't many that really jumped out at me, except for the first song had a pretty good guitar solo, but I love how it just kind of creeped in. It kind of didn't feel like it was supposed to be a guitar solo part, but kind of just, here I'm coming in, here I am. Like, I like that, that was cool. But as far as the rest of the songs, there was parts where I was just like, come on, come on, come on, and then it didn't happen.
Yeah, most notably in Behold, which is the 4th track. Because when that track is going, it's crazy cool, and then there's a point where it's like, okay, this is totally where insane solo would happen, and it doesn't happen.
Well, Behold starts off as a pretty slow song. It's like kind of mid-tempo, very clean vocal, a little bit like melancholy kind of vibe. And then, like he's mentioned a minute ago, it kind of breaks down in the bridge and he starts ramping up, and then the second half of the song picks up and gets crazy. Harsh vocals kick in. I gave that song a pretty high score. I said all this song needed was a guitar solo, because there's certain parts where, like, if a guitar solo had kicked in at a couple of these phrasings, it would have just made this song perfect for me. Like, I think there was a little bit of a missed opportunity there. It doesn't mean it's a bad song. Still an amazing song. The outro is sick. If it had a guitar solo though, oh man, it would have been so juicy.
Now the song after that, Open Eye, which is one of the few songs we did react to, was my second highest rated song because it's fucking vicious. And it's the most Metallica sounding song for the whole album.
Yeah, it's Metallica sounding, but it's Metallica sounding on steroids. Like, it's definitely heavier than most, if not any Metallica.
And what's
but
funny,
it's got vibes. It's definitely got elements.
You know, it starts out and it's crazy, and it's like you're thinking like, oh wow, this is sick. Believe it or not, it gets nastier as it goes.
Yeah.
Like, jeez, man, they won't calm down, and that's awesome. Like, this album is just so in your face, but it has a lot of different stuff to it. There's a lot of melodic stuff, and a lot of different melodic stuff, and a lot of pacing changes. I really like how this album has so many different things. It's not like, oh, it just does the same thing. The only thing I'm finding that's kind of the same is that, you know, the form is like, okay, we're gonna do, you know, a different tone for like the first chunk for the song, and then the bridge we're gonna go crazy. But even then,
that doesn't happen in every song though. That happens in three or four songs.
Even then though, when it does do that, it's different every time.
That's true. So it's okay if you figure out a formula, but you don't make carbon copies of it.
It works.
You kind of use the same formula, but make it different each time.
Exactly.
That works, and that's fine. That's what these guys did here. So we're not complaining about that. It's just something we kind of noticed as we're listening to it. Oh, they're doing that again.
What did you think of the last track, Set Us Free?
Okay, so the last track is 1 minute and 15 seconds long. It's violin and just like ambience. There's no words, no lyrics. It's just an outro, a closer. And I thought it was great. Usually for tracks like that, I usually give them very down the middle ratings, like a 5 or something like that. I actually gave that a 7. I felt like it was a perfect closer for the album. It really kind of just capped it off. But one thing I thought of, and I think this is really cool, is that usually when I listen to albums throughout the week, I just loop them, right? So when that song plays, at the front is gonna start right after that, which is track number 1, and it's gonna feel like Set Us Free was an intro track. So I think it kind of bridges the album between the last track and the first track, so if you were to loop it, it kind of just has that little bridge there, and the album kicks off again, and you're on your adventure again. So I think it was really cool to have that at the end, where most bands probably would have put that at the beginning of their album, which is also, I guess, the same kind of vibe, the same kind of thing. I thought it was cool. Set Us Free. It was cool. I really enjoyed it. For 1 minute and 15 seconds, I'm glad it wasn't too long. I liked it.
It also especially works because the shadowing is such a conclusive sounding song. Like, you can tell this is the last song in the album with how it ends. Yeah, you got a bunch of conclusive stuff to it, right? You know, you got the strings, you got all that kind of stuff, especially because that's part of a trilogy of songs. Like Nensha, Rebirth, and The Shadowing kind of all fit together, especially with they had the story with the music videos. We only reacted to 2 of those 3. We did not check out Nensha on the channel, unfortunately. But, you know, it's cool to have that conclusion and then Set Us Free, which can work as a bridge between the end and the beginning.
Yeah. So, I don't know. All I'll say right now is my biggest takeaway. I guess I have 2 biggest takeaways. The vocals are very diverse, more diverse than I thought they were. And this drummer is absolutely mind-blowing. With those 2 things said, we're gonna listen to this album as much as we can for an entire week, and we'll be back in a week to give you guys our full and final review of Nija. So be sure to like this video if you liked it, comment down below and let us know what you guys think of this album. We know you guys have been listening to it for a few weeks now because we're a little late to the party here. We've had other stuff to do, right? We can't review everything all at once. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. So comment below, let us know what you think. I'm Vile Self.
I'm TV Fish.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Keep those heads banging.